Welcome back, everyone. This is part 3 of whatever. We're just opening up. Now we're into deck building. So, a lot of people get stuck. I mean, Ryan,
Yeah, when you first start, it's very hard.
it's overwhelming.
Yeah, because you have so many cards, and there's a lot of cards, and you look at them and go, oh, this looks really awesome. But then it may not actually work out the way you hoped, or maybe it costs just too much mana,
Yep.
or it's sorcery and really needs to be instant. And
Yep.
it gets overwhelming when you're trying to figure out what's good and what's not good.
Yep.
And honestly, if you're new or you're coming back, the first few times you go to your F&M with a deck you brewed, you're probably going to lose, but hopefully you'll learn and figure out what worked and what didn't work, and be able to
Just
modify your deck.
Have
from there.
fun. The key is always when you're playing,
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure you're having fun.
The minute you stop having fun, it's not worth
Yeah.
it anymore.
So, from us, we looked at it and we had that. And then we had Arlencord. And then we had Omnath.
They're over here.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, so,
So-
we had an Omnath,
We had Omnath and then we had Arlencord.
and we had an Arlencord.
So we looked at that, and we automatically looked at our pile size. So when you guys saw the part 2 sorting video, our red and green we had a healthy red-green.
Yep. And if you didn't see that, we will put it somewhere in our description, so
Yep.
you can go back and watch that one.
Yep, we'll link it. But we had a really good healthy red-green. So this is part 3 where we're going to show we went through, did the sorting part already, cut out a lot of things, and we went through and said, all right, let's build us a red-green deck.
Yep.
Because, honestly, to get into a control deck, I could go in for hours on. You're not going to get that right off the bat.
It's a whole new level of gameplay you got to worry
Yep.
about.
Playing on their turn, you're going to be worrying about that somewhat, but red-green is stompy. Red-green is, this is what Wizards wants you to do. Put cards on the battlefield and turn them sideways.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they want.
Yep.
So we said, all right, well, let's look through it. So we knew we had this. That was a great land.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We knew we had that. A great finisher.
Yeah, great late game card.
And then we had Arlencord, which is kind of like your middle power really gets going. So as we went through our piles, we sorted them into 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, and kind of wanted to get... With a constructed deck, you're going to build 60 cards. Now, with us going on the high end of 7 mana,
Yep.
we need to have roughly, if you're running some mana dorks are your guys that are creatures, but they also provide mana, or a mana rock, you'll hear me say often, and that is a artifact that literally all it does is just tap for mana.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay 3 mana, 4 mana, whatever it is, and then it comes onto the battlefield, does nothing but create you more mana. Your mana is your resource that you use to navigate your game.
Yep. And you don't want any shortage of that.
You don't want ever a shortage. So we want to get to 7 mana as quickly as possible. That would be our goal, because Omnath has it has a lot of text. When you read it, it's a landfall trigger. Landfall has been in 2 sets.
It was in Zendikar both times.
Yep. So both times in Zendikar. So it says, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 5/5 red-green elemental creature token onto the battlefield. So now we're creating 5/5s. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The better part is when Omnath, the Locus of Rage, or another elemental you control, just elemental, we'll get into a whole variety of things there, dies, Omnath deals 3 damage to target creature or player.
Yep.
That is pretty good.
It's a powerful ability.
It's a very powerful ability. We call him the radioactive potato launcher, because that's literally all he does.
He's glowing red and green, and he throws elementals at things.
Yep. So we went through it. So we had Galvanic Bombardment. Yes, you'd probably want 4, but we didn't open 4.
We only opened 2 of them, so.
So we only opened 2. It's a great 1 mana removal. It does 2 damage to target creature, but then it has an X ability. And the X is if there's more than another So say we have a bombardment in our yard, and one we're casting. Now it's going to deal 3 damage.
Yeah, that's why you want the 4, just because it keeps getting bigger.
We had a card called Blossoming Defense. Another really good card. Gives our cards hexproof. Hexproof means they can't be targeted by a removal or a burn spell, or just can't be targeted in general.
Mm-hmm.
Unless by us.
Correct. Yep.
So
and it makes your guy a little bigger too. So
yeah.
if maybe you can use it offensively, where you just need to punch through that extra 1 or 2 damage to win the game.
Yep. And then we had some mana fixing. Because mana fixing is very important, and everyone laughed. We had a tune with the Aether. We opened up 2. We have some more you'll see in the next video. But so we're going to put 2 in there. And basically searches our library, gives us 2 energy.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And there's not a lot of energy going on in this deck, but we have a couple cards that use it. And having energy is never a bad thing.
Never a bad thing. So we got our 2 mana slots now. So that was 1 mana. So we kind of, when you're building a deck, you're sorting it out by... I like to sort it by your converted mana cost. It makes it... I know you probably do the same thing.
Yep.
So we have, in our 2 mana, we have Grapple with the Past. It's from Eldritch Moon. It's a really good card. It's instant speed, 2 mana. You basically mill over the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. But say there's a land you need to get back, like an Evolving Wilds, or just something you need.
Yeah, anything you need to get back.
Yeah. It's creature or land cards come back. So not your instants and sorceries, but creature and land card comes back.
Say somebody killed your Omnath that you just got out there. Oh, you can play that, get your Omnath back, and put it back out in the battlefield.
Yep. So we needed some cheap creatures to keep us alive. So we got Speedway Fanatics, Sky Sif, we did talk about. Really like cheap crew.
Yeah, it's like the budget version of a Smuggler's Copter.
Yep. We put on 4 prisms because we did get prism in everything. Prisms are really good. It's a redraw. 2 mana, we draw another card, but it's mana fixing. Because sometimes maybe you're not going to have the double red for Omnath or something like that. Really good.
Sure. Yep.
Incendiary Flow. Got a 2 of 3 damage exile creature if it dies.
You can also do that to a player, which is great.
Yes. You can burn it to a player. This is where we get into our mana dorks.
Yep.
So we have Deathcap Cultivator. He gives us a black or a red mana when we tap.
Green.
Black or green, sorry, thank you. And then we have Hedron Crawler. Now this is from BFC, actually not BFC.
Gatewatch.
Oath of the Gatewatch. And it's 2 mana, it's a 0/1, so really can't attack with it, can't do anything with it. But it gives us a colorless or waste mana. Not bad, not great. It's going to get us closer to Omnath and Arlinn Kord a lot quicker.
Sure.
Now, that's our goal in this whole deck, is to get there quicker.
And late game, it can be used just to block something if you need to.
Yep. So now we want... Alright, what do we got in 3 mana that's really good? Filigree Familiar. It gains us life.
Yeah.
That's good. And then when it dies, it draws us a card. Now, that's... Resourcing-wise is drawing cards. You never really want to be empty-handed unless you have something that you need to be held up for.
Yeah, you generally want to have cards in your hand. Even if you can't play them at that current time, just because it gives you that there's something I could do, and your opponent never knows. Yep.
So we put in a Reckless Bushwhacker because we did draw one. Another Oath card. Another new mechanic you might be new to if you're watching this and you're just like, well, I'm new, I need to learn this. Surge. Surge a really cool mechanic. So say I played a tune with the Aether. Got my card. Got my land.
Yep.
I played one spell. Now I can, instead of paying 3 mana, so 1 red and 2 colorless, I can play 2 mana, 1 red, 1 colorless, play that, and then when it enters the battlefield, if I surged it, so if I paid its surge cost, all my creatures get +1/+0 and haste.
Yep.
That is pretty okay.
Yeah, it's a great late game low cost card.
Yep. We have a card called Clear Shot. Another little removal. Deals damage if you have Omnath out. Really great removal. We had 2 Life Spring Druids. More Mana Dorks. They're a little expensive at the 3 mana side, but they tap for any color.
Yeah.
So,
plus you can use them to pilot your Sky Skiff.
Yeah.
You play your Sky Skiff on turn 2, you play that on turn 3, and you can tap it and pilot.
Yep. We did get a Cultivator's Caravan, so why not? It's a mana rock, but it's also a mana dork.
Yeah,
it's both.
It's a 5/5 creature if you grew it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. And then we're going to try the Architect of the Untamed, because when it enters the battlefield, we get an energy. Really good. Spend 8 energy, and now we get a 6/6 colorless beast. So...
And isn't that the one that when a land comes in, you get energy?
Yep.
So it works well with Omnath's
Landfall.
And you get the energies off of your Tune of the Aethers early on.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll kind of help...
Yeah, well, that'll be... so then we have Arlen at 4, so really good. We have another Mana Rock at 4. So we're really, as you guys can see, what this is called a red-green ramp deck.
Yeah. You want to get to Omnath.
We want to get to our big threats. And then the other big threats really are, we have Arborback Stomper at 5. 5/4 Trampler gains us 5 life, so yet again, keeping us alive.
Yep.
Really doing a great job.
The other thing with Hedron Archive, go back for a second, is if you do have lots of mana already and a lot of other, you have other mana dorks out there and you just don't need more, you can pay and sacrifice it to get more cards, which is also an added benefit.
Very good. Yeah. We did get a Green Gearhulk. Yeah, why not?
It's powerful.
It's super powerful. And since we opened up 2 packs, the
Deck Builder's Toolkit.
Yep, Deck Builder's Toolkit. 2 Souls of the Harvest, another 6/6 Trampler for 6, and then when another non-token creature enters the battlefield, we draw a card.
Yeah.
More card draw, more generation.
Keep cards in your hand.
Yep. And then we got 2 Eldrazi. Now the Eldrazi you're not going to see out of Kaladesh and all that. This is out of Zendikar, or Battle BFZ, and Oath of the Gatewatch. But they are good, solid cards to play with Omnath. Because since we are ramping, they're colorless. So we don't have to worry about red-green. We don't have to worry about whatever color. As long as we get to 7 mana quickly, we can slap one of these down.
Yeah.
And they have pretty good effects. The Rune Processor, not really great. It's you exile a card from their graveyard, from exile to their graveyard. So you're probably not going to exile anything ever, but it's still a 7/8 body.
It's not bad.
Not bad. This guy, though, the Bane of Belaged, he's one I actually would play for this type of deck. Because when he attacks... excuse me. When he attacks, you exile 2 target permanents. And it doesn't have to deal damage. It's just when you...
It attacks.
Turn sideways.
If they only have like 1 blocker out or 2 blockers out, you can get rid of those. Or you can get rid of some lands, or their mana rocks or artifacts, whatever is giving you a problem, you can get rid of with that.
Yep. So we have all of that. This is right now, we have 36 cards. So we're going to run 24 lands. Being we opened up enough, we have our dual lands, as we like to call them. They come into play tapped, but they are red and green.
Red and green.
And we have that, so you would put that in.
We have our game trail.
We have our game trail, which is really good. And now this is where we would run into... We had some Evolving Wilds. I'm sure if you talk to a new player, maybe they have some...
And we did find 1 or 2 of those.
I think I actually have 1 or 2 somewhere. Right here.
Beyond that, though, we're pretty much looking at you're going to be running basics. I don't remember if we got any of the...
well, we got the Blighted Woodland. We probably play that.
Yep.
There's our Evolving Wilds.
You probably play a couple of those just because we have things that interact with the landfall portion of it.
Yep.
And Evolving Wilds is nice because it does give you those 2 landfalls because it counts as 2 when you play the Evolving Wilds. It counts as 1, and then when you search up a land and put it in play, that's your second one. So with something like Omnath or your Architect of the Untamed, you're getting 2 triggers out of that.
Yep.
Which is fantastic.
That's it for that. So we only got 1 Evolving Wilds. We'll play the Evolving Wilds, though, because that gives us 2 triggers. We're more heavy green.
Yeah.
So when you're building, you also take into account what, like, if you have any double colors, shall we say. And the double is the double green here. So we have 4 double greens, but we have, at our top end, a double red and a double green. But other than that, it's all single reds, single greens. Our Prophetic Prisms do help us with that, very much so. So, and Ryan's actually doing a great job for me, and he's providing our lands. So we will have. Now this is where really building is hard. Now Ryan, why don't you explain why you grabbed more of one land than the other?
Well, so I grabbed more forests than I did mountains, simply because when you look at the deck, you're going to be seeing you have these double greens up here, which you have time to get to your 2 green sources, and you will with between your Wellspring Druids, your Prophetic Prisms help with that, your Tune of the Aethers. Also went a little bit more heavy in green just because you want to hit a tune early.
Yep.
But you can't ignore the red of the early cost of red also. But again, your green is going to be more important to you. If you have to wait an extra turn or two to hit these red drops, these red spells, you're okay doing that. And if you hit into tune, you can get your mountain that you need to get.
Yep.
And your Wellspring Druid can tap for red mana. So that also helps. Same with your Cultivator's Caravan, your Prophetic Prisms can help fix your mana to the point where you don't have to focus on the red as much, and you have a little bit of a chance to get to red mana because you don't need that right away. Whereas green, you want on turn 1 or turn 2. So.
Yep. So we're not going to sleeve this one up exactly. We wanted to walk you through the deck building process. Where the deck building process is going to come into what you might take to F&M is the next series. That's where we're going to take both of the the Planeswalker decks.
We have the Nissa and the Chandra deck.
Yep.
These are unmodified right now.
Unmodified, and we have our red-green piles, and we're really going to just go through and start fixing them, and then we'll walk you through, and it'll be part 4, part 5, and then we'll put them against each other in part 6. And then tune in part 7, and then other than that, we're good to go, and you'll see more of that out of there. But really, what we want to show you guys is how to take a just box of stuff. So maybe you didn't get the Planeswalker decks, but you got Deck Builder's Toolkit, you got a few packs, you've got the holiday box, and you take all of that, and this deck is put together.
Yeah, it's not going to be your best deck you ever played, and it doesn't look like it's going to be the worst deck.
But no, will it win you a game? Yes.
Yeah.
And will you get more packs when you win games? Because that's generally what they do as prize support. Of course.
And then you just look at what you get, and as you play it, you'll learn what cards were good for you, what weren't, and take things out and add things in.
Yep.
And just keep trying new things.
Yep, and that's really where it comes in. And then you're going to get cards when you open up, like Angel and Invention. Well, maybe I'm not playing Angel right now. I don't need Angel. She's like a $6 card. I'm going to put her in my trade binder. Take her to the shop. Someone goes, hey, I need an Angel Invention. You'll be like, I've got one for trade.
Yeah.
Now I can improve on my red-green deck.
Yeah.
And that's really where it comes in. And so, honestly, I think, will this maybe go 2 wins? Possibly. I mean, it's got enough top end where it can trouble people.
Yeah. It all depends on what you play against and who you play against, really.
Yep.
And don't get discouraged if you go and you lose 3 games with it. It can happen. And, and it's just, majority of the time you run into nice players who will help you improve it if you ask.
Yep.
Hey, what can I do to make my deck better?
Yep.
And they'll give you some suggestions.
Yep. So we're going to end it here at this series. Really well done. I can't believe we actually could put together a actually semi-decent, red-green aggro deck or ramp deck. And so next series you'll see us with another one of our Planeswalker decks, and we're going to keep going from there. So we'll see you guys next week.